Welcome to the No Name Brand Podcast. My name is Sashka Rachael, actress, singer, dancer, turned brand marketing, sales, and advertising strategist who brands your soul. And each week I bring you an inspiring person or message to help you discover your undergod, turn up your leadership notches, challenge the status quo, because you're fast and furious with a powerful message to share with the world. Thank you for taking time out with me today, and without further ado, let's get our creative and wisdom juices flowing. Can you believe another week has just flown by, folks? Oh my God, unbelievable. And we are here again. It is you and I together, a romantic rendezvous across the oceans, listening to each other. Oh, mon amour. Today I have someone on the show, but it's not French, blah, who I believe is just as crazy as I am on stage and in front of a mic. So prepare to be entertained. Yeah, baby. Now the stage can be a scary space for some, and for others, like our next guest, a playground. Fun, 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 fun. She says the stage is like an opera, big, bold, and impactful. And she wants to have some impact, or the same impact, empowering women to stand out and get their messages out there on stage, aka women who want to be in the speaking business. Now, she didn't always want to be on stage. Well, in that form, she wanted to be a ballerina, background dancer, hotel manager, and a CEO of whatever, because she just loved the sound of being in a boardroom, being the boss. Now, after following the breadcrumbs, she's culminated all of what she loves and wanted to become. She's on the stage, the boardroom, the management, the empowerment, the presence, the talking, and every now and again, some dancing happens too. Now, having introduced some big names on stage and interviewing them, such as Monica Lewinsky, she's here today. She's prancing all the way from the UK to our studio to share her journey, her tips and tricks and empowerment for women who want to go from boredom to stardom as world-class women speakers. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Lovelda Vincenzi! Woo!
Yeah! I feel like I need a drum roll.
Rocky in the house!
Hoodie and everything, I'm ready for
exactly. Cool. So tell us, babe, what does the name Lovelda mean? A very important first question.
It is very important. I wish I'd made something up to answer that question. That would have been really helpful if I'd come to this with something pre-prepared. It's been on my to-do list. People ask me the question all the time. I don't have a decent enough response for it, to be fair.
We need to make something up. It's love held you. Love has hold you.
I don't know. It's a goddess of love or something. I don't know.
Ooh, voila. Yes, we like that.
I feel like it needs to be deeper, though. That's just, it's the first. Don't run with that, folks. That's just attempt one. Working on it. Work in progress.
Oh, cool. So you are an MC. Now, many people don't know the heck is an MC, and some people are like, I know what an MC is because I want to be that. So share with us and the listeners, what is an MC? And for those that want to be an MC, how are we going to become an MC and get famous at it?
Right. Let me put it this way. You know when you put on a party and then you've got like people in your house and you want to look after them? It's a host. That's what an MC is. It's a person who like holds the whole thing together. So you know when you go to a really good party and you leave and you're like, oh man, I felt like I was well looked after. That's what your MC does. I don't talk like that on stage, by the way. But yeah, in really simple terms, an MC, Master of Ceremonies, interchangeably used with a host or a moderator or a compere. There's so many names for the same thing. But in the simplest terms, it's the person who's on the stage introducing the speakers, warming the audience up. You know, they're the hosts. They're just the hostess with the mostest, making it fun, connecting the event together. So that's what I like doing.
I love it. It's like, it reminds me of Tiffany Haddish. For those that don't know her or might know, she's from the movie Girls Trip with Jada Pinkett Smith and Queen Latifah. And I've forgotten the other actresses' names. But yeah, that's what she did for a very long time. The MC of bar mitzvahs, I think it was, of parties and stuff like that. Yeah.
It's good fun.
Yeah. Keeping the energy up. So what does an MC do? Like, I can understand a party and it's the host. So what's happening on the stage?
Okay, so I MC predominantly conferences where it's female conferences, business or tech conferences, predominantly where I end up what I love doing. So each gig's a little bit different, but I can introduce the whole event, connect with the audience, get them all buzzed, create a feeling in the room. So a good host does more, or a good MC does more than come on the stage and just say, hey, and the next speaker is, you could get a robot to do that. They should be injecting a bit of personality, a bit of pizzazz. So I'm a little bit on the crazy side. So depending on the event, and Sashka, you were there, we have dancing.
Yes,
we have a bit of audience interaction. I'd also do any general announcements, so I have a feel for the room. The break needs to be a little bit longer. It needs to be a bit shorter. The energy is a little bit low. So, we need to do something to get people moving, introducing speakers. And then when I'm really getting into it, then I end up stepping a bit into the organizer side. So I do help event organizers with coming up with the right running order, sometimes venue finding, just running the event, basically keeping things to time. So on the one hand, you're like this friendly, bubbly, excited person everybody wants to know. And on the other hand, you're kind of like somebody out of the army. Right, it's time, let's go. Nobody's coming off my clock.
So now you do MC, but you also have a Facebook group where you are working or assisting women speakers to become world-class speakers.
Uh-huh.
So those aren't those two different areas?
Yes and no.
Oh.
Let me share. So as an MC, I'm always introducing speakers on stage. And what was really frustrating me is I introduce a lot of blokes and part of me goes, listen, if there's one thing us women can do, it's talk.
That's true. Yes, that's true.
I'm like, how are the men beating us at this? This is our thing. We talk. And being in the speaking circuit, I know a lot of really brilliant female speakers. So I thought there's got to, what is going on here? And then when I started really speaking to event organizers, they were saying, Lovelda, we really struggle. We actually really struggle. Seriously, we struggle to find female speakers. So initially I started the group because I was like, girls, we need an intervention on ourselves.
Yeah, right.
This isn't working. And then what I started to realize really is it's a matter of marketing. And as women, our footage just isn't as good, generally speaking, just not quite as good as marketing. And whether you're marketing yourself as a host, an MC, or whether you're marketing yourself as a speaker, the principles are the same. People are going to want to see video footage of you. They're going to want to know what value they're going to get. You need very clear pricing. And your profile needs to shout, pay me, not shout, I'm working this out.
Yeah. That's right. Because I don't think there is really a shortage of women speakers. It's really how they're packaging themselves.
Exactly.
What they've got to say, that it's different. It's really just different what you got to put out there and challenging the status quo.
Yeah, and people don't want to hear about their messages. I got a story.
So what is it that they want to hear?
So I kind of say to women, think of it like you're planning your wedding, right?
Ooh.
And if somebody said to you, look, you're looking for a wedding singer, like an entertainer, band or whatever. And they said to you, look, we're really good. We create a really good vibe. We are a great bunch of people. We really love what we do. We're really into this. And this is our thing. It's our thing. It's really to our soul. And it's £3,000. Would you book them? You'd probably say, can I hear a little something?
Yeah.
Can you show me a little something? I haven't quite got that yet. We're new to this, but we feel it. You kind of run a mile, right?
Yeah.
But that's what we do.
That's what we do.
We go, I've got a story. It's really impactful. It's exactly what we do, right? I've got a story. It's really impactful. I want to share my message with the world. So you've got to think like an organizer, because to an organizer, that event is like a wedding. It's a big day for them. Their reputation's on the line. So they're not going to take a punt at a £3,000 or 5,000, 10,000, whatever it is, speaker that they haven't seen.
Yeah.
They're certainly not going to be paying for the Ritz and looking at a Travelodge website. They don't do that. So your marketing's got to say it. You can't have cheap, tacky video footage and expect to be pulling in the big bucks. in the same way, like when you're booking a hotel, you'll look at a room and you think, that ain't worth no £500.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, you got my mind working as well. Like I'm thinking, oh, I just did a sales page. Oh, maybe it wasn't so good. Gotta go redo that one.
I'm sure it was hard. There's
a few things missing. My mind's just going somewhere. I'm like, all right, okay. So now the women have got the packaging done. Where they're putting it? Is this where they find it out in the Facebook group? How do I pitch? Lovelda?
So the group is an open community for women, right? So we are really talking about everything. So it's a safe space for you to say, look, I've just got this footage. Is it any good? Or I'm not quite sure what to wear, because that's the sort of thing we talk about. Or somebody's come to me. We've got a lot of things like somebody's come to me with an opportunity. I'm not sure how to price it. So it's a discussion forum for those sorts of things. Once a week, we'll have a training. We'll bring different people in to talk about specific topics, video, branding, marketing, selling, all arena of that. And then for those women who are really clear on what they talk about, because I don't clarify speeches and talks for people. I kind of go, I'm going to send you to somebody else who can help you work out what, how to message it to get you to a really killer keynote. But once you've got to that point, you're getting a few bookings and you're like, okay, I'm really ready to take this to another level, but I'm not quite sure what to do. I work with people in the strategy behind building that business. So I built my MCing to get to people contacting me to say, do you fancy introducing Monica Lewinsky? I'm like, I suppose I could do that. Pay for your flights. We'll get you over
baby.
here. I'm sure I could work that out. But for me, it was getting very strategic about each event that I did, and not just taking, you get to a point where it's the free, people have a problem with like a free speaking engagement, but there's a lot you can extract from those engagements, whether it's testimonials, whether it's great quality video footage, whether it's just a brilliant stage to say that you've spoken on, whether it's testing out a new talk. There's lots of things that you can do with that, but it's almost as if people get that first speaking engagement, or they get the speaking engagement, they do it and it goes, tick, done, on to the next. And then they come and talk to somebody like me and they're like, I'm ready to get paid. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's great. Have you got any video footage? Well, I've done about 50 talks. Yeah, but did you capture any of it? Like any of it? And so at that point, you're slowed down, because all of those talks you've done until then, you can't do anything with it. It's like, have you got any testimonials? You can't go back and re-get the video footage. You can at least go back and get testimonials.
Yes, exactly.
But you can't go back and re-get the video footage. And when you say you want to be earning 4 figures, 5 figures speaking, you can't do that without good quality video footage, good quality branding, good quality video, etc. And so then the other thing I get is, fine, I'm going to get an agent.
They'll tell you the same thing.
They'll say exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
because an agent they make money when they can book you. And if you can't book yourself, you're a liability, not an asset. It's not a valuable proposition. What's good for an agent is when you come to them and you say, I've got all these people contacting me and I don't know what to do with them. Help! They love that.
Real estate. Oh, yes, please.
But the thing is, as soon as you go to them, I'll tell you, I'm on 2 bureau agent websites. And as soon as you go to them, I'll tell you what they ask for. Video footage, professional photographs of you, testimonials, and a biography. Now, some of those things you can get pretty quickly, but I can tell you, if you don't have good video footage, they can't actually put you on the site properly.
Yeah.
Only exceptions are you are a household name and talking about a very specific topic.
Yeah.
And so you're sought after because you are the expert of experts in that particular arena. And so they know they're going to book you because you're sought after. Outside of that.
So where's the hope? So now the listeners are sitting, some listeners are going, okay, great, Lovelda. I'm doomed. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to put this mildly. Yes, I'm doomed. I've been sprayed. I'm dead. I don't know where to start, how it's going to happen. So where do they go? What do they do?
You start where you're at. I mean, nobody became an overnight success. They became successes because they were taking action regularly. The first thing is, I'd say, join world-class female speakers on Facebook. It's easy enough to find. It's an open group. It's free to join. And just start to get knowledgeable about the sector you're going into. There's a difference between dabbling as a speaker and having it as a side thing that you can do, and choosing to want to commercialize it. And when you decide to make that switch, then you have to understand the industry. Otherwise, you're speaking as a hobby. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can dip in and out of doing speaking engagements just because you enjoy it. But if you want to commercialize that speaking, then you have to understand what it is people are looking for when they pay for that service.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a difference between deciding that you make some crafty stuff and you sell it to friends and family, and then you send it off for Christmas presents every now and then, and deciding you're actually going to go and get a stall or open an eBay shop or whatever and start selling it. It's a different mindset to say, this is something I'm doing as a commercial enterprise. And when you decide that, then you need to start to understand how that works. And first and foremost, you need to be good at what you talk about and be a good quality speaker. And so absolutely work on the craft. But I guess the key message to take from this is if you're only working on the craft and not the business side of things, you're going to struggle to commercialize it. Yeah. You've got to think of it as you can be a brilliant speaker and still not get paid to speak. And there's hundreds and thousands of those sorts of people out there. And then you'll have speakers who unfortunately are somewhat mediocre, but they've understood this is a business and they've understood how to market themselves and they've understood how to sell themselves. They're making really good money out of it. So yeah, join world-class female speakers. I've got a mastermind coming up as well. So if you're in that point, you're like, I could just do with that support. We're doing everything. We're reviewing your website. We're reviewing your collateral. We're teaching you how to negotiate. We're teaching you how to sell. We're teaching you how to leverage events. We're showing you how to find speaking engagements. It's limited to 8 people. We're starting in August of 2018. So It's kind of around the corner. Again, very easy to kind of get involved. Either email me at lovelda@lovelda.com, or better yet, get in the group and send me a message. Yeah. I'm really easy to have a conversation, but you just need to apply and it's fine. You apply, we'll have a chat, we'll work out what you've got to work with, and we'll figure out how we make some money out of this. Good money.
Exactly. Have you thought about opening your own speaker bureau?
I'm in discussions, actually.
Ooh, I think I just touched a little nerve.
You did. Very, very early stages. So yeah, I didn't expect I was going to become an advocate for the female speaker, but I kind of seem to have done it a little bit. So I have I suppose you could call her a business partner. We haven't quite worked out the details yet. Oh, cool. We kind of stumbled across thinking it'd be a good idea to do an event for female speakers where we just focus on like the commercials of being a female speaker. So the first one of those has passed. The next one isn't until next year. It's on the 11th of October. But it was like all women. So we got 100 women in the room. We did an awards ceremony. We even had a magazine branded by yours truly. It was good.
And I received it yesterday.
You did?
Yay, got it. Yay. Very excited about it. Looks great. I was actually quite impressed. I'm like, oh my God,
I know. I sometimes sit down and I cuddle it. It's so cute. So off the back of that, we get a lot of, so she runs a training organization for speakers. I'm obviously working with speakers for building their businesses, really good fit. She's very blue sky thinking, which is why we ended up doing such a big event. And I'm a little bit more like structured and strategic. And so it works really well as a partnership. But yeah, we're kind of at that point where she's like, Lovelda, I'm getting all these requests. And I don't know, we should open a bureau. And I was like, I don't know how we do that, but we can work it out.
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be towards the end of this year. It's like early days. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to be saying anything, but she said it already. So it's already out there. It's out there, girls. It's out there. But I'm telling you, you're going to need video footage to get in the bureau.
The most important thing. Exactly. So you were just recently MCing in Lithuania, right? Uh-huh. And how did that go? I mean, they're not speaking English. Was it an English audience or what of a challenge was it?
That was going to be fun. No, it wasn't translated. The conference was all in English. So thankfully it's my mother tongue. It's all I speak really. I say that I speak Australian English, American English and British English. So I'm kind of covered on the English front, right? Yeah, so that was in Lithuania. It was a 3-day innovation conference. 4,000 odd people. It was cool, really cool. But I'll tell you what, Lithuanian crowd don't have to take some warming up. My gosh. I could spread the tea, but I'm not gonna.
Why not?
You're really? Like, tell me.
Really?
So you get different types of crowds. Like, this is totally off piece, but anyhow, you get different types of crowds. And we're familiar with the American crowd because they have a lot of energy. Let's just put it this way.
Yeah.
It's not difficult to get an American crowd going. I think the British crowd was a little bit reserved. The Lithuanians, they sit and look at you like, come on then.
All right. Well, I like a bit of a challenge.
But it was fine. I mean, by the end, they were whooping. I had to teach them. I mean, I built a mini seminar into what I was doing, and I had to teach them how to get to their feet, clap their hands, stomp their feet, and whoop it up.
I love it. Oh my God. Speaking of stages, so what is still the stage that you want to be on, and who do you want to still MC for?
Do you know what? I don't really have a stage per se. I like innovation creative events. I like working with organizers who have a really clear vision of what they want to create. Like, that's what I get really juiced. Like, to me, it's not MCing, but isn't just about getting on a stage. It's about helping an event organizer realize their dream. So to me, it's a little bit deeper. Like, I just went really deep, right?
We like deep, yeah.
We like deep. I've been on the event side, and I know how much your heart and soul goes into that particular event.
Yeah.
And I like kind of coming in as that missing piece of like, I want people to feel a certain way. And I'm like, what's the feeling? Tell me the feeling. I want to see if I can create the feeling.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it.
So it's not a stage in particular. I love doing interviews. So I love opportunities when I get to interview interesting people. So if somebody wants to sit me opposite Oprah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be amazing on the stage.
She's so going to interview me under the table. It'll be like,
oh my
girl,
God.
I don't know. Teach me.
That is freaking amazing, man. Who's been your biggest interview crush up to date?
My biggest interview crush? Do you know what? I always go back to Oprah. I love that woman. I don't know if it's because my mom used to like ram her down my throat when I was growing up, but I don't know. The woman's just, I think it's because she's so real. And so what I love about her as a female speaker in a different kind of guise, because she's in the media space predominantly, but she's always very genuine. You always get a sense of her soul. There's a real kind of connection there. She's happy to kind of open up to large crowds of people. And she's very feminine. There's like, you don't get that kind of masculine energy of like, I'm here.
Tony Robbins. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, I'm not into that. I'm like, so to me, and I love the impact she's had. Like, I'm just kind of like, this is a woman who transformed talk shows in a day where it was just this kind of nonsense. And she got to the point where it's like, if you went on the Oprah show, you were somebody, right? Yeah. It was a coveted stage, like you were somebody. Yeah. And so she transformed an industry, because before she really started doing talk shows, nobody really paid them too much attention. It was this kind of nonsense thing that you kind of did at the sideline. I kind of want to be that MC where people are like, nobody cares about the MC. Nobody cares about the MC. I'm like, well, you care about me though, right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh my God. So tell me, how do you want to change the world or challenge the world doing what you do?
How do I want to challenge the world? I like to create a space where people can realize a vision. And to me, it's about being a call for people to play a much bigger game. God, I'm going deep.
Yeah, we like that.
So I like to do that in various different guises. I love doing it on the stage hosting, because you see a different side of a speaker before they go on stage. And like being able to be the person who like creates that space for them before they even get on the stage. And often, I mean, I have pep talks with speakers all the time, because some of them are just like, oh my God, I'm not sure. I'm like, girl, you got this, you know? So being able to kind of make them feel comfortable and create a really welcoming energy for them, that's one way I do it. And with for the event organizer, it's then being able to help them to bring that event over the line, because all of this stuff's been going on, and then they're right at the last bit, and then I pop up and I'm like, okay, cool. What do you need me to do?
What up, man? What up, dude?
What's happening? We're taking this straight through the finish line, girl. We got this. And then through the World Class Female Speakers group, it's about being a call for other women to do the same thing. And it's playing a big game, because I'm like, I didn't come on this planet to play small. I'm not really prepared to be hanging around a bunch of people who came here to talk one thing and do something different. So I'm like, let's do this. Like, how far could we take it, really? So being that call for people who are like, oh, I'm just speaking for free. I'd like to kind of get a couple of £100 or a couple of $100, to taking them to, you could make this like $100,000 a year type thing. You could pick that up in 6 months, right? Exactly. We got this.
Exactly.
To kind of explore that journey. So yeah, for me, it's really being a call for people to dare to go there, like dare to live the dream. And know that it's possible. It's not easy. It's not smooth. It's not without its turbulence. But God, it doesn't have to create a good story, huh? Afterwards, when you're sipping champagne, you'll be looking back going, remember that time when we thought...
Well, it's all over now. It's happening now. I would love to know, like a lot of speakers, whether you introvert, extrovert, ambivert, whatever, empath, sympathizer, whatever, the pre-work that you do preparing for an event and the after effects that you have. There's all that adrenaline happening in the beginning that's kind of like the drive that's going, yes, it's going to be so exciting. And I'm so nervous and it's all the butterflies and everything like that. How are you preparing yourself in the pre-phase when you're on the stage? Like there's a lot going in your mind. Like there's already the future things happening where you've plotted everything out. And then there's always the after effect that when you have the loads, like when you've come down from a sugar rush and regenerating yourself. Because if you don't do that, you cannot stay in that high all the time. You're going to have a big crash. So how do you move from the pre to the actual event to the post event?
So I kind of see them as three totally different energies, and it might be slightly different emceeing versus speaking, but I think there's a lot of parallels. So before the event, it's all about me just getting prepared. And have I physically got everything in the right shape I need to have it in, even down to my clothes? Like I don't want to be stressing about my outfit on the day of the event. I have to have that picked before. I'm a girl. So I need to have everything pre-prepared. I want to have checked in with the organizers. I want to have as much clarity on who I'm introducing, the background of each of those speakers, an understanding of the event. And I just go over that stuff. I think as a speaker, it's about sitting down and getting really clear on your material and the outcome you want to have. By the time I get to the event, I kind of given up on prep. It's too late. The gates are open. The horses are coming out of the stables. Like it is too late to start going, I wonder if we got enough hay. Like it's too late. So at that point, I'm then, what is the result I want to get from this event? And that's where I go to. I just want to be 100% present. I want to be 100% on the stage. You know, what is the right thing for me to say and do in this moment to make it as good as possible? And so for me as an MC, I'm then 100% there for the organizers. Everything else is on hold because I'm doing this event. So it's all about how much can I promote what they're up to, getting to know the speakers. I'm at work. I'm basically at work doing a job. When I'm speaking, I've done a few keynotes. When I'm doing that, it's really, what do I want to leave this audience with? And it stops being about me and it's now about serving. I suppose that's the key thing. Once I get to the event, it's no longer about me, it's about serving. And so even if the nerves are there, I just keep going back to, I really want to be of service. I want to be of service to the crowd. I want to be of service to the speakers. I want to be of service to the event organizer. I want to do a good job. And so if I stay in that space of service, I can't help but to do a good job because I'm more now attuned to what's happening and I can pick that stuff up. Whereas if I'm in my own head, forget it. Like I miss all of the cues and I can't hear the questions and it doesn't really work out. So I just kind of go on going, I just want to do a good job. In a speaking capacity, I want to make sure that I want to deliver a really powerful message and serve the audience in the right way. In an emceeing capacity, I want each of these speakers to have the best audience possible. And I want each speaker to feel comfortable enough to get their message across as powerfully as possible. I want the audience to have an amazing time. And I want the event organizers not to have to be worried about what the hell is going on the stage, to focus on everything else. That's what I want. After the event, the business hat's on. So before the event, I'm very much in production mode and it's very much about like, what content do I need to have? A bit of the business stuff, because all the negotiating and all of that kind of stuff and making sure I know what my outcomes are personally. During the event, it's then very much about being of service. And after the event, it's business. So after the event, my invoices need paying. If there's anything outstanding, I'm quite serious because I don't forget this stuff. That needs sorting. If they've promised me video footage, I'm on that. Testimonials, I'm downloading any feedback and stuff like that off the internet. I am reaching out for testimonials straight away and I'm taking a break. So normally immediately after the event, the first day I'll have it off and the next day I'm right back to work. And the reason for that is I need some downtime. And I think as a speaker, it depends on how long your sessions are for and how far you've had to travel. Moderating, if I'm moderating a whole day event, I'm holding the energy of whatever that crowd is for that period of time. So it's quite exhausting. Speaking, you might have just done a half-hour slot. You might need a whole day off, right? Yeah. So it might be overkill. But if you're doing your own event and it's a day or a 2-day event, like just cancel the next day. Don't have anything planned to do. Just give yourself time to kind of get back to your own energy. And then immediately afterwards, business. Back to business.
Yeah. Back to business, people.
I'll be done.
So I was just thinking how I would be in that situation as well. Because normally afterwards, I'd be like, I need to regenerate first. I first need to do my emotional regeneration. I need to come down. I need to sleep. That's how I regenerate myself. I just need sleep. And then to my assistant or personal assistant, I'm just like, please, you need to deal with it, or the accounts department, you go and take care of this and make sure that it's happening. But then afterwards, when I come back to my senses, it's more, did you do it? Did you do it? Did you actually get it? It's like, I don't want to say I don't trust you, but did you do it?
You've got to get back on the business side of things, but absolutely first you have to take a break.
Yeah.
Because I find sometimes, depending on the gig, sometimes it feels a bit surreal. It's like, that just happened?
Yeah, exactly.
It was radical.
Oh, man. Lovelda, we're coming near the end.
No, don't make it so.
I know. It's just not much. So I would like to ask you to give me your take on 3 of my values to fill in the blanks. All right. So creativity for you is?
Oh, gosh. It's being in alignment and doing what's truly you. It's pulling things together in a different way.
Passion for you is?
Oh, it's that fire in your belly. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just that
Yes. You want it so much as you want to breathe, as Dr. Eric Thomas would say. Wisdom for you is?
Oh, it's the little voice in your head that you should listen to all the time. Because it's pretty much always right.
Pretty much, like 100% right.
100% right. I think we've all got wisdom. Just many of us choose to ignore it.
Yeah, because we're afraid of it. What might happen if we actually are just as big as what we think that intuition is actually telling us? Oh my God, seriously?
I think sometimes also our intuition tells us stuff that we're not ready to deal with. Like, eat that job.
Well, we are ready to deal with it.
And then our logical mind takes over and shuts that out. So I think, wisdom is that little voice.
Love it. Thank you so much for being with us here today and sharing your wisdom and your passion and your creativity with the listeners today and myself. And you can find out more about Lovelda in the show notes, her favorite book, her favorite quote, and more about her mastermind that's happening in August for 8 women. And you can also find out where she is on social media and on her website and in her Facebook group. So you can just hook up with her. Thank you so much for being here.
I've loved every minute of it. We do it again.
Yes, we will on a live stage. Oh, yeah.
Make it happen, babe. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Thank you so much to everyone who's been listening today. And I am going to be hearing and seeing you next week. And in the meantime, remember to change yourself, to change the world, and do it fast and furious. Love you lots, people. Bye-bye. Dang, that was just supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I enjoyed having you on board, and please do me and you a favor. Head on over to iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. Click subscribe, and a super bonus, leave your review and you stand a chance of being announced and advertised on the show. I'm always striving to ensure that your brand is uplifted and empowered. Remember, done is better than perfect. So be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and send in your feedback too. You're the absolute best. Keep rocking.